This is so far, by my honest opinion, by far the most intriguing episode of Ascendance of Bookworm I've seen so far. Especially when it comes to magic. We see an entire new reveal of a side of Mind's world we have yet to see through the animation. Now, I know you could read the novels, which I was trying to do from Square One, but the site I was reading it on closed down, so lucky me, and now I'm having a hard time looking for somewhere else to read it. So, if anyone knows a good place to read a web novel, let me know. I'll probably just Google it later on. Now, getting on with the review. Mine's first problem was pretty, trivial. It was just a starting point for what was ahead of the episode. She had to convince mainly the father, the daunting father, for her to stay at the cathedral without him worrying too much. Because, despite how smart Mine is, she loses track of things. She doesn't really pay attention to certain things, especially when her head's in a cloud or she's thinking on something very focused like. It causes the reason why she gets so many fevers or collapse and stuff like that. Things that are happen to her often, but she has that habit of hers that's always going on. So thanks to the help of Lutz and some talk with a friend, she came up with two good reasons why she should stay at the cathedral. With Lutz is that Fran is able to keep track of her fever better, and also the cathedral itself has a better heating system, so she'll rarely even get sick as she would if she stayed home. The second one is by taking care of the children in the orphanage. She is the orphanage director, after all, and those children is best to see looked after by the person who's truly in charge. Plus, when it's snowing, it'll be very difficult for her to go back and forth through the snow during those times. It'll be hard for her, and because of that, it makes more sense for her to stay there. So through that, she was able to stay. Next part was her just, getting ready, getting preparations, practicing the prayers for a ceremony, even getting the dress from her associate she knows made for her. Nice dress. The dress even has a branding logo on it. And I don't know if between you and me, but I think it's the first time I've seen an actual brand in this show, probably even the world itself. I don't think back then brands really exist only for a representation of the kingdom that it has in a way. It sort of reminded me a little of this movie I saw. So if you're very interested in a sense of bookworm, there's this movie I saw called Branded. It's a foreign movie about a dude who pretty much created the brands. He saw two liquor stores. Both said liquor store. Normal looking. All he did was put a word in front of liquor. Forgot the word was. And then more people came to that store because it was more appealing to the eye than the regular liquor store. Because back in the day when it came to brands, there was no true branding, no true trademark. It was just this something something store, shoe store, hair store, clothes store, whatever you want to call it. It was just that, and it was very boring until they created brands and things became more appealing. So those who first did brands, of course, made their money, but then the bigger companies made their brands and then made a corporation and took over and monopolized on the other brands. But that's something you guys should look into yourself. So if you like Sons of Bookworm, you're going to love Branded. Watch it. Now, back to the story. I'm sorry for getting sidetracked. I just really want to talk about that. We get to see a lot more of magic this time around than the usual episode. Most times we see things through what Mind's doing, how she's creating things by hand through the power of science. But this time we get to see some through the power of magic by going to a Noble's District. So I'm guessing inside a Noble's District, there's probably more amounts of mana than it is to the rest of the kingdom where World Mind lives. And because of that, it causes certain events to happen. Very interesting. We see this giant trombe. But I think I'm getting ahead of myself. But the giant trombe, in a way, is something you usually don't see. So people are, how does the thing get so big? Without anyone noticing at all the thing even being forged. And like I said before, the ground itself has mana in it. Probably more mana than the outside of the area. And because of that, for the huge amounts of mana, it was able to absorb it all up and create to a trove tree. Because usually you see the average strawberry branch outside, you know. It rarely has a chance to truly grow into a tree, but this time you get to see it as something else. So that was interesting. The Noble District, I love the opening to the Noble District. It would light and cool if they did the light thing, where there's a flash of light and then you see the Noble District opening up, you know, as the light dims out. That would be nice to see, but hey, you take what you get. Anyways, it looks nice and clean and very, very convenient to live at, but I wouldn't want to live there myself. I bet it's boring there. I bet it's boring. Like I said, I would rather live in a rich neighborhood than a noble neighborhood. In a noble neighborhood, you can't do whatever the hell you want. It's just the dang truth. But in this one, everything was just nice in place, square in order, and of course most places are like that. But it was so uncreative, in my opinion, despite how nice and neat it was. So, and this setting itself just shows how the nobles themselves are in that world, just by looking at its entire environment. Like, wow, they look nice and neat, but I bet it feels boring. That's just my opinion. But anyways, as they're preparing on riding all these magical beasts that you use to transfer your magic into your mana, it came to my realization that no one here has really used their mana directly out of their body, like you usually see in anime / isekais. You usually don't see what the way they use magic, where pretty much anything that's being used magic in this world is being conjured, is being absorbed into something else. Like they take an object, they put mana into it, and that's how they usually use it. I've yet to see someone actually use mana directly at their body so far in this show, or that I remember. So that's one of the things that really spot out. Like, okay, this is how they use mana. I guess using mana directly at the body is very dangerous. Who knows? You don't see anything you usually see. Magic tricks or making water or fire or whatever, or healing. You usually don't see that. You only see it through magical items and stuff. And you know what? It's one of the reasons why it is one of my favorite isekais. Just from that reason alone. Now, as they went to go fight the Trombe, I was making fun of the dude in the green hair. As mine was praying and everyone is, just receiving her blessing. And you see the dude with the green hair, he doesn't look like, man, you look so out of place. You're like, man, I don't want to be here right now. I was making fun of the dude. And then right when the episode's about to end, it shows him with his little slimy, little smirk. Knew it. I freaking knew it, man. It's just, I wish I could do that. It would have been a lot more interesting if we didn't see it coming. But I don't know what's going to happen, but where it is, we'll see. We'll see. So, yeah, that's all I got. Like I said, this was very, very intriguing episode of all the episodes, because you got to see a different, fresh worldview of the world. Because besides that, we didn't get to see much of world building inside the world itself, but more character building this time around in this season. But this time, we got to see something whole new, completely fresh. Now, wait until we start seeing more nobles and seeing how they act, seeing more of their kind of culture and the way they do things. And it's something I'm very much looking forward to seeing, because them chapters aren't getting translated anytime soon. So anyway, that's all I got for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell icon. This has been Madcrownxox on Anime. Signing out.